Thanks for joining us today. Here at Life on Saturn Comics, we're promoting Fennec. Our Kickstarter is live now through April 19th. Help us get chapters 1 through 5 of our Toku drama thriller printed. If you're a fan of Power Rangers, but have always wanted it to be darker and grittier with more human drama and mature themes, then Fennec is for you. I've got Allison with me today from Allustrations. Hello.
Hello, that is I.
So I've been following you for a minute, and I don't know how exactly I came across your profile, but there's a lot that I am personally attracted to. I noticed that you're a fan of "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared."
Yeah.
So, what is it about that short that you're attracted to, and that you draw inspiration from as a creator?
Oh my gosh. I guess it's like I love how colorful it is, and I love how it takes the childhood, childish nature of children's media and uh children's books and
Hmm.
puppetry, and then just distorts it and makes it very upsetting. I think that's like one of my favorite things. I don't know if I always do that with my work, but I'm very inspired by that. Like when I was a kid, I saw Watership Down when I was super young, which I know a lot of people did because parents just saw oh, it's bunnies, yay. And that movie, have you guys seen that, by the way?
Watership Down? I don't think I have. Are you familiar with
Okay.
that, Minky? Is it with a bunny?
Yeah, it's got a lot of bunnies. It's if you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. But it's basically just very upsetting. Like it's just a story about survival, but it has these cute bunnies. Like there's literal gore and blood, and
Oh,
it's
goodness.
great. Um, but yeah, and that's what I love about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. It just starts out so happy-go-lucky and then gets very upsetting, but it still is kind of hopeful in the end, which is maybe not everybody agrees with that, but I feel like it is.
You're right. Yeah, I like that. It's like dichotic. I really feel like there was a lot of subliminal messages in it too, especially when it pertains to creativity and children. Like we're always telling them, "Oh, be as creative as you can," and then as they get older, it's like, "No, stay in your lane."
Right. It's like be creative, but in this box of creativity.
Hmm.
It's like the infamous line. Well, it's famous, not infamous. Green is not a creative color. It's like pick any color. Green. Green is not a creative color. I think that sticks with people so well because it's so real, as a kid or even as an adult, people are like, be creative, and then they're not in that way. Like, oh
Ew,
my
not
gosh.
in that way. You're weird.
There's there's these weird rules around creativity that we all just start following because we don't want to be ostracized.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I love that. And I think I do see that in your work. There's a lot of cute things that are also macabre. Like just how you took Millie as a character, and she is adorable. I love her.
Oh, thank
uh,
you.
well, I guess I could segue into your Pillbug story. I noticed that that is up and available for pre-order now. I reserved my copy. I'm very excited. Um,
Um,
I wanted to point out that you have a cute little point and click, a point and click series with Millie. And then I was also curious, how did you come up with the idea for her?
well, I guess so. The the reason I started drawing bugs was because of and we might have talked about this already, but I got bed bugs when I was in college,
Hmm.
carpet beetles, which are also an infestation that are less known, but they're just as horrifying if you've
Oh no.
had them. And then cockroaches. Went to school in Savannah, Georgia, so
Hmm.
there's a lot of bugs, um, and it really freaked me out. Like for years, I would have nightmares about bugs and horror dreams, and wake up and have to shine my flashlight around my bed. And so I was like, okay, I think I just need to draw bugs because this trauma isn't going away. It feels disingenuous to use the word trauma, but I think there was a little bit of that. Um, and then I was like, okay, so I'll draw bugs. What is a cute bug. Like I don't want to draw bed bugs or carpet beetles or cockroaches. Although I think I want to draw cockroaches now.
Yeah,
But that's beside the point.
that'll be a challenge to make that
That'll be
cute.
tricky. I know. I know they're so viscerally abhorrent. um, and so I just thought about roly polies because like they're so sweet and they just they don't move very fast, and when you touch them they just curl up and they're like, oh no thanks. And I was like, they're really approachable. That's a very approachable bug.
Hmm.
Um, and then I researched them and was like, oh, they're not an insect, they're a crustacean. Even better. And so it was like, I think I can make a story out of this, like silly crustacean coming to terms with like being a crustacean when all of her friends are bugs or arachnids, of course,
Hmm. Hmm.
spoilers. And then yeah, that's kind of how I zeroed in on Millie the pill bug in summation.
Yeah, I love the whole premise of that, like just her being like an alternative kind of creature and like trying to fit into this, bustling forest world. It's super adorable and accessible for like a lot of different age groups.
Yeah, I hope so. I want it to be. I really struggled with that, but I think Black Panel Press, like, I think we worked on it together and now it's like accessible. And there's nothing in it that like any age will be disturbed by, like, or maybe disturbed, but not like, there's nothing uh directly about like, drugs or sex or something, for instance.
Right, right. What was the process of getting a publisher and working with Black Panel Press?
That was like, man, I mean, and anybody who's tried to pitch knows this very well, as I'm sure you do as well. Like it
Hmm.
was quite the trial. I was about ready to do a Kickstarter because I sent it to publishers. Like so many agents or editors would be
Hmm.
like, this is great for kids. This is perfect. And they'd read the comic and be like, oh, this is like kind of adult paced.
Oh,
Hmm, I don't know. And but so it just I kind of was like, but I feel like it's fine because kids would always pick up the comic at comic conventions. I would just make mini comics of it and like
hmm.
kids really liked it. They were so drawn to it. So I was like, but that's okay, right? And they'd be like, no, we're not gonna publish it.
Oh,
So it was very tricky. I really struggled. And I had a day where I was like, well, I don't know that I've actually looked into all the indie presses that are out there. And I had saved a bunch from like comic conventions. I'll just look through like what presses are coming that are independent and
hmm.
save them for a weird idea I have that is not mainstream, or maybe could be mainstream but not for a big publisher that doesn't want to take risks. And I pitched to Black Panel Press, and Andrew, who works there, just got back to me and was like, "This is great. Like, I have no qualms. Let's do it."
Aw.
So that was really cool. And so then I just drew a bunch more of it. I had about 100 pages done, and I had it in my mind that would be 200 pages. So he was kind of like, just roll with it. And I did. And he had like copy edit things. But besides that, let me do what I wanted. So that was pretty cool.
That is really cool. Congratulations. I'm very much looking forward to diving into the world. And then back to the macabre stuff. You have this large format drawing that you recently completed that
Hmm.
is haunting. I thought it was hilarious that you mentioned that you had spilled coffee on it and you're like kind of working around it. So that leads me to my next question. Like, when you work on your pieces, are they largely not planned? They're kind of like you kind of just like fly with it.
Lately, I have been doing that. Like, definitely with the comics, like with the Millie works. If I did a new page, I would sketch it out and have a very direct image of, like, okay, this is what this page is going to look like. But I've been wanting to draw larger format work, and I am kind of lazy when it comes to the sketch phase. So, and I love drawing these, like, just cluster images. I just started doing them in my sketchbook. And they're kind of unplanned because I just don't use a pencil, I just
Hmm.
use a pen, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I've definitely started drawings and been like, okay, I'm going to scrap that. That looks weird. And not the right kind of weird. Um, and so with that one, I had practiced drawing those weird faces, and I was like, I think I got it. I'm just gonna do it. And just kind of went with it. And I think it works. Like it's certainly my first time drawing that big, and some of the things didn't go as planned, like spilling the coffee. I couldn't believe it too. I like brought the coffee cup. I did everything you could have done wrong, really. I brought coffee into my room and I have this like secondary table. I would show my room, but it's a bit messy. But I'll show my desk. Oh wait, my phone's plugged in. So this is my desk where I work, and it's pretty small, as you can see. And then
Hmm.
there's my laptop, or literally not a laptop, desktop.
Yeah.
and and so the drawing is too big for that table. So I have the secondary table that I pull up, and I brought my coffee cup like over the table and was like, I'll just do this carefully and directly over the drawing, and sat down and went back to drawing, and then had a moment where I looked around on the drawing and was like, where did all these like brown spots come from? What the heck? And then I was like, it's literally the path when I brought my coffee cup over the table. Why did I do that? So message to the group: don't draw near coffee and don't have coffee near drawings. And even if you think you're being careful, sometimes you're not.
Yeah. Well, it's like
um,
definitely impressive. And like especially that it was with Micron and such a large drawing. Like how many hours went into that?
yeah, a lot. I think a lot in the end. It was very piecemeal. I would just kind of like pull up the table and draw, and the table kind of blocks my route in my bedroom, and I have to walk over my bed. So sometimes I'm like, I'm tired of this, so I put it away. And then sometimes I'd be like, no, I want to do the drawing and pull it back out. I think in the end, if I could guess, maybe like a solid like week and a half. Like if I was working full time, so like 100 hours. No, that's more than that. That's like 300 hours. Definitely a lot of hours for sure. I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer, but I would say if I was working like a week and a half full time, like for 8 hours a day. Oh wait, no, 100 is probably not crazy. I'm bad at math. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. No, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I could just imagine. And what was like the actual dimensions of it?
Oh, it was I remember. I think it was 28 by 16 or 18 by 28.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
around
goodness.
there.
And then like for people who are curious, microns are like these little thin pens. Let me see. Can I find where's your O3, Minky? It's right up here. This is like the standard size. So filling like that 2 feet by a foot and a half space with this tiny little tip, that's determination. That's talent and
One could say stubbornness and insanity.
uh, it's also very impressive.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
So I'm a fan, and I'm really glad I found you at Mocha. I'm like a fly by the seat of my pants kind of gal, so I don't look at any of the programming when I go to these things. I'm just genuinely surprised when I see tea.
That's the way to do it, because then it's all exciting.
So it was a treat, and like we hadn't like known each other from anything else. So I just your illustrations and like what you choose to depict and your style definitely like stands out to me. So it's an honor to actually know you now.
Oh, thank you. You as well. And we'll definitely like collab. Well, I guess we're technically collabing right now in a way.
Yeah, in a
Um,
way.
in a way. Yeah, and we'll definitely do like drawing sessions, and yeah, that would be really cool. I love that. It was so funny to me how like people would come up. I think because this year I had the banner.
Hmm.
Which question, did that help at all you finding me? Because that was my goal.
That was 100% the reason I knew it was you. Because the eyeballs and the flowers, like, I know this person. I've seen
Yay.
this before.
I was like, this is the year I'm gonna have a banner, because I had people say, not a ton of people. I have like a modest following, but I'd had people say like, I literally didn't know you were there. I'm so sorry I missed you. And I'd be like, yeah, I probably was behind the crowd at the
Oh.
show. And then it was funny to have people walk up this year and see the banner and be like, I know that name. And I think I know your face. And I'd be like, I'm here. So there we go. It's
Yeah,
good to know that the banner helped us reconnect. I'm so happy about that.
it worked 100%.
Yay.
All right. To remind my viewers, we have a Fennec Kickstarter going now through April 19th. This is a darker take on Toku and Henshin stories. We've got 5 chapters that are going to be published as a graphic novel. So help us make our dreams come true and contribute. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Special thanks to Allie. Her book, A Pill Bug Story, is available for pre-order on Amazon. And what was the other spot? Barnes & Nobles.
Oh,
yeah.
Barnes and Nobles, and then also directly from Black Panel Press, if you so
Oh.
choose, and also potentially for me in the future at a convention, because I always buy comp copies.
Ooh, le fancy. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And then...
Hey, thank you, guys.
Yeah.